Okay, good day, Hossain. Let's begin editing your essays. Okay, now you should have just focused on activities here. So, you know, it is always good to do activities with young children. Okay, here you could have said such activities allow both children and parents to develop different skills and imaginative capacities. Okay, now here you should refer to some of the studies that you'll use to demonstrate your arguments. Okay, the sentence guide talks about that. So please take a look at those modules. Okay, now here, um, you know, just mention playfulness triggers, um, you can say cognitive skills, uh, 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 physical abilities, etc. Okay, so just give a bit more detail here. Okay, remember, according to the sentence guide, you begin the sentence by saying this is because. Okay, so then that would be a small p. Okay, now here I wouldn't mention physical fitness. Okay, uh, I'd say this is because playing can make the brain more active and generate many important cognitive skills related to reasoning and socializing and uh, uh, and so on. So that's what I'd say. Okay. Now this sentence is fine. For instance, recent studies in Harvard University with a capital U. Or you could say recent studies from the medical department at Harvard University have shown that children who play games at an early age perform better at university than children who do not play games at a young age. Okay, so I hope you can hear some of the changes I've read in. Okay, now the problem with this paragraph is that you've looked at skills, and now the question requires you to also look at imagination. And unfortunately, you seem to begin by saying different perspectives, okay? So that could relate to imagination. So activities, you could say because when you're playing games, you need to imagine what your opponent does, and this improves your imagination. And then you could have used a study that supports that. But here I think your example isn't great because you start to talk about bicycles and it's not clear how that relates to imagination, and it's also not clear that um or your example should come from a university. It sounds as if this example is just coming from a personal experience. It's not academic. Um, and yeah, your conclusion should just have a future tense sentence. So overall, a good essay, a few small problems, but I think that if you take my feedback into account, next time you'll be able to write an even better essay. Okay, let's move on. Okay, just one thing, don't use etc. like that in these kinds of essays. Okay, now here just be more direct and say this modernization has led to less family communication or to more family communication. Okay, and once again, just you look at what the sentence guide says about this closing sentence, because you should make some mention of the kinds of studies you'll use to support your arguments. Okay, now here there's a very clear problem with task response. You you are talking about outdoor activities and people mixing together more because of these outdoor activities. Now, the focus of the essay was on family communication. You looking at communication in general. Okay, so there's an issue there with not responding to what the question required you to focus on. Okay, so here you see here you're talking about friends and partners. Maybe partners could be um, a family member, but it's not clear that it necessarily is a family member. So again, I maintain that there are issues with the focus of the essay. Okay, so this is better because you're focusing on family communication. Okay, it's clear that you're doing that. Now, you can simplify this all quite a lot. Um, okay, but here I just say you can say estranged. Okay, I'll write that out for you. Um, or distanced. Now, it also seems to be here that a lot of the sentence guide structure is missing. So, for instance, this should begin with this is because da 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 da, and this sentence should be, for example, right? And this sentence should begin with therefore, and it should clearly establish. Therefore, it's clearly the case that because of technology, family communication has actually increased. Okay, so I've got a feeling that your essay is quite long. It's 312 words, which is significantly over the word limit. Um, and as a consequence, I'm not going to look at your conclusion. So in this essay, I think in particular, and indeed also in your first essay, I think you need to watch the sentence guide modules again and try to follow the structure more closely. If you do follow the structure more closely, I think you'll find it easier to stay within the word limit. Okay, so this is a good solid start, Hossain. We've still got a lot of essays to do together, and I'm sure you'll see some big improvements as we continue to work together some more. Okay, thank you very much.